I'm an absolute lover of cycling shoes, and I'm always jealous when I see what the pros are using. So what better place to start for 2019 than the Tour Down Under, the opening World Tour race of the season. Let's have a look what they're using this year, and while we're at it, what helmets we can find too. Now, being a self-confessed helmet geek, I'm pretty excited always to see a new helmet, and this one here is the new Rudy Project Spectrum. It's the first time I've actually seen it in the flesh. Pretty sure I saw a photo of it, and I think it was Vincenzo Nibali was using it back midway in 2018. Now, the helmet itself, in a medium, weighs in at 260 grams, so it's pretty lightweight, and well, it's a sort of semi-really well-vented and semi-aero helmet. It's a happy medium, if you like. And a really neat little feature here on the adjustment is a little groove where you can basically slide your headphone cable in. Of course, headphones and cycling not really recommended, but these riders, remember, they do use earpieces when they're racing, so that's ideal for them, just to tuck it in there and keep it out of the wind. Winning. Many of you will remember last year where I spotted some really flashy Specialized Sworks road shoes on the feet of the Specialized sponsored teams here at the Tour Down Under. Well, this year they've done it again. They've produced another really flashy colourway. Now, apparently, just like last year, they're only released for the Tour Down Under to really make a big old impact. And well, again, yeah, you've won my heart. For 2019, the squad of De Koning Quickstep floors, well, they're going to be using a MIPS SL inside of their helmet. So as you can see, it's totally different from what we commonly see with a MIPS helmet, which is the yellow liner. So the SL one means that basically you're going to have increased airflow, which is ideal, especially here at the Tour Down Under, where it's pretty hot, I can tell you. Now, you can see just the fastening points inside of the helmet there. It just allows those pads just to move very slightly, but enough to make a difference if you were to be in an accident. Now, something else, speaking of accidents, that I should just point out is this on the rear of the helmet. It's called Angie. So if suddenly you decelerate very quickly or your head starts to rotate more than normal, the kind of thing which you would encounter during a crash, Angie, which does connect via Bluetooth to an app on your smartphone, does send a message to a loved one. So they're aware that you've had an accident. But the great thing about this is that you can actually set a delay on it. So if you were to have an accident, you can set a delay of 15 to 90 seconds, for instance, therefore cancelling it if you're okay. And well, if you're not okay, the loved one, they still get a message. Safety first. This is the brand new POC Ventral Air that the squad of EF Education First Pro Cycling are going to be using for 2019. And well, there's no better fitting situation or surroundings to actually launch the helmet than the Tour Down Under, because right now it's 39 degrees and this helmet is designed with cooling in mind. But first up then, let's actually have a look at the shell of the helmet. So it's covered in polycarbonate, and what I really like about this is that it's wrapped around really far on the sides of the helmet, meaning that if you were to slightly drop it or something like that, then it's not going to get gouged at all, especially in transportation where helmets tend to get a little bit scuffed, and well, they end up looking not that good. But this one, that's going to stand the test of time, I reckon. Then when we flip it around and look on the inside of the helmet, well, we've got POC's spin pads, and well, they're not bulky or anything thick or unsightly. In fact, they're really minimalistic, and they're only going to be touching your head where you really need it and actually to wick away any sweat. Then of course we do have the retention system, which is adjusted via a little knob on the back of the system, and also that retention system is able to be adjusted vertically, so you can find the ideal place for it to sit on the back of your head. Now, one of the neatest features they've done on this helmet, which I think is brilliant, is the addition of this eyewear garage just here on the insides of those front vents, and they're covered in a really sticky fabric. It actually reminds me of the CPC covering on the Pro Logo saddles. So because of the sticky nature of that fabric, they are going to hold your eyewear in there if you decide to take them off of your face and want to store them in your helmet for some reason. Price wise, $250 US, 250 euros, and apparently it's going to be out in March. Now another new helmet coming out of Rudy project is this one here, the Volantis. Now it's an aero helmet with some ventilation. So if you remember, back when aero helmets were first launched, well generally they didn't seem to have any vents at all. This one's got 9 vents, including this one here, to help just try and get a little bit more cooling effect over the top of your skull. Now just like the other helmet, the Spectrum, which I've already talked about, it does have the same features here to enable you to actually put your headphone cable in there for your race radio. Weight-wise, 270 grams. Let me know what you think of it, hot or not. Now if you're a national champion like Daryl Impey, well then you've got to go full custom. Just check out those shoes. We've got custom colours and well, those boa dials, if you ask me, they look bang spot on. For 2019, the squad of Groupama FDJ, well they've actually decided to change helmets from BBB to Giro, and this is the Aether MIPS spherical model. So the purpose behind the MIPS system is actually to reduce rotational forces, so ultimately allowing the actual helmet to move a little bit rather than your skull in the event of an accident. However, what they've decided to do with this one is actually create a separate liner between 2 bits of EPS of the helmet itself. So as you can see here, I'm actually able to move the inner EPS section away from the other one because they are connected, but that is the MIPS technology inside of it. Great looking helmet this. I'm a big fan of their kit for this year too. Having a quick snoop around as ever, and well, I do like a custom pair of shoes, especially if you can customise the boa dials like on this pair of Sworks shoes, but better still, check that out. Yes, you can customise your soles too. A company called Pro Cycling Stickers, they actually make these, and well, last year I saw Bob Youngles rocking a pair too. The Terex range from Adidas actually specialise in outdoor equipment, so hiking, that kind of thing. And also, they happen to sponsor the Bora Hansgrohe team of Peter Sagan. And well, this pair of shoes has a boa dial on them too, and it happens to be customised in the colour of the team. 8.5, my size. Peter won't mind. She managed to wrestle some new shoes actually off of Lachlan Morton of EF Education First. And well, they're a new shoe from Rafa it looks like. Now, I don't know much about them to be perfectly honest, other than I've not ever seen them. At first I wondered if he'd actually kind of homemade little bits of them themselves, but I guess they're in a development stage, and the laces are pretty long, and when I've seen them on his feet he does actually have to wrap the lace all the way around on the underside of the sole and then tuck the laces underneath the Velcro fastening at the front. But it's great to see, well, more shoe developments. Yeah, if you're Italian champ you get Italian colourway shoes, and those, they are bling, aren't they? Check out the boa dials, they're custom. It's just a fully customed out affair. Love it. Now, many of you remember last year at the Tour Down Under, I got a first glimpse at the HJC helmets of Lotto Sedal, and well, for the remainder of the season, they tended to use them in just a matte black colourway. But the good news is, for 2019, we've got a colourful one, and I think it looks absolutely great. I do like a colourful helmet. This one is a little bit sweaty inside. I've just grabbed it off of Adam Blythe. It's got 16 vents, so it is going to keep you nice and cool, and also help you get through the wind a little bit easier. And just inside of it too, the retention system I really like because it's got a nice positive loud clicking sound when you tighten or loosen it. Something that always looks fantastic in my opinion is a custom helmet. The reason being, if you're a national champion in particular, you can really decorate yourself to show off your colours with pride. And well, the team of De Koning Quickstep Floors, each and every year, they seem to have plenty of national champions on their squad. So, in the case here, I've got the helmets of Elia Viviani and Michael Morkov, so the Italian and Danish champs respectively. And then in this arm, I've got their Evade 2 aero helmets, and this one, the Prevail 2. And I think they look great. And it doesn't actually take a helmet manufacturer very long at all to produce the polycarbonate shells in these colourways, and if you are a national champion, demand one, always. Now unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for the riders, I didn't manage to walk off with any of their shoes or helmets, but let me know which bits of kit are your favourite down there in the comment section. For me, it's got to be Daryl Impey's shoes, and for helmets, I'm still thinking about it. Don't forget to give it a like, a share, a thumbs up, and also check out the GCN shop at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. For another great tech video, click on the Ferris wheel.